proceed to the media conference. Miss Nicole, thank you so much for joining today, and then thank you so much, media friends, for joining us today for this occasion. So as I said today, we had a special courtesy call of Miss Nicole Borromeo, the Philippines representative to the 2023 Miss International Beauty Peak in Tokyo, Japan. We now have a wonderful opportunity to get to know Miss Nicole better and learn more about her. And also, we would like to hear about her passion towards Japan, Tokyo. So now, we would like to proceed to welcome Miss Borromeo in attendance. We have 8 media today, and they are joining this press conference. And then let us begin with the first questions from we have Mr. Adam Charles Ganato. They have your question, lady.
Okay. Yes. Hi, Nicole.
Hey, Adam.
It's so nice to see you in a different setting. I believe this is the first time that a Binibining Pilipinas international title holder is making a courtesy call to the Japanese ambassador here in Manila before flying to her international competition. So how are you feeling about it right now?
Yes, that's what I've heard, and I must say that I feel very proud. And I have to thank Consul Joseph Assad and his secretary for helping me get in touch with the Japan Embassy. Thank you, Mr. Hao and Mr. Rintaro, for being so welcoming. The moment we called, I could already feel from our virtual meeting that they were really open to giving me the resources and getting me to meet the ambassador. And this was more than I ever expected. I mean, we're here at the residence of the ambassador, and you're all here with me today, the media. So I'm very, very proud.
And thank you so much. I have so many questions, so
Sure.
I hope you'll be patient in answering.
As long as you're patient as well.
Yeah, since the past few weeks, you've been very vocal about your hard work and preparation, and part of it is even going to the extent of researching so much of the Japanese culture. And as we all know, it is known that the Japanese have an unshakable dedication when it comes to perfection. And it's the hardworking individuals of Japan that, underpin the success of the country. And thereby passing it to the next generation. So I would like to ask, how do you relate this ideal of perfection in terms of handling the pressure to win our country's 7th Miss International crown?
Frankly, I like to look at it more than an ideal of perfection, rather an ideal for progress. And that's the same approach that I would like to take my journey competing in Miss International. I don't think you stop at perfect. It suddenly sounds complacent, but when you put progress over perfection, it goes beyond that. It means that there's always something to improve on, there's always something to enhance, and there's always going to be something better for you to look forward to.
All right. And when it comes to beauty, we all know that the Japanese are really stickler when it comes to maintaining their skin regimen, or they really put so much emphasis on a well-care skin type of regimen. And despite the changing trends, the Japanese women still value smooth skin and natural look. So how do you feel about these Japanese trends? And are there any intentions or trends that you are interested in trying out? And how are you incorporating it into your styling game plan for Miss International?
Well, genuinely speaking, I really admire the process and the focus that they give on Japanese skincare. Because let's be real, skin is an organ of our bodies that we need to take care of. And when we can show people that we can take care of ourselves, then it helps bring more trust into the relationships that we have. In terms of the styling, I do appreciate the natural elegance that they carry, but I also understand that they do more than just that. They're also very creative, and they also have pops of colors here and there. So when I approach the styling, I would like to merge some traditional aspects as well as contemporary sophistication, if you will.
Thank you for sharing that. And my last question, our country has won 6 Miss International crowns so far. So why do you think the Japanese seems to have a fondness for the Filipino beauty?
I think it's in the values that we hold. A lot of qualities and things that we admire and find value in are aspects that I think the Japanese also find value in, such as in our love for family, in our respect, and also our appreciation for food, festivals, and tradition.
Thank you so much. And good luck again. I hope you'll be our 7th Miss International title holder very, very soon, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your question, Mr. Dang. So now we would like to proceed with the question from Philippine sir, Ms. Charmy. So can you?
So how many times have you been to Japan, and can you share the good memories that you have in there?
Actually, I've only been to Japan once, and it was back in December of last year, and it was in support of our Miss International 2021 Hannah Arnold during her competition for the same pageant, Miss International 2022. Some of the best memories I had there was actually walking around the temples, seeing the ponds and the gardens, and just immersing myself in the nature of it all. It was wonderful. So many memories. Another would also include visiting this Tokyo Labs. So they actually combine digital art with a full experience from the waters to the lights. So it really brings you to the present. And I think that's something that embodies Japan as a country, that connection to the natural world.
My second question is, so this time, what Japanese experience or culture are you looking forward to bringing them to compete?
I haven't experienced it yet, but we were talking about this earlier with the ambassador, the beauty of the Ikebana. And I understand that that's a certain aspect that's brought during the tea ceremony, special occasions. And I just really appreciate the mindfulness of it all, that it is a shared experience. It's people coming together, appreciating the beauty in front of them, taking the time to arrange the flowers, sip on the tea, and thank the world for what it has to offer.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nicole. So next, we have a question from Manila Shimbun, Mr. Kaoru Okada. So we have 3 questions. Please kindly ask the question.
Sorry for giving you like a machine gun question. I hope this will be a practice for that competition. As an international, Miss International 2023, what do you want to say to the Japanese people you may see in Japan or waiting for you?
Sure. はじめまして。 Borromeo Nicole Toshimasu. I'm very excited to represent the Philippines in your beautiful, beautiful country. I'm coming in not only as a delegate of goodwill, beauty, and peace, but also as somebody proud to immerse in their culture, to bridge connections and embrace the diversity that we have to offer. I hope I get this one right. 本当に私の心に興奮しています。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Next question. When looking at the past between Philippines and Japan, actually it's quite complicated history between three. But what field of these two countries' cooperation do you wish to develop more?
Oh, between Japan and the Philippines, I'd love to develop the technology and the infrastructure. Japan is so advanced, so efficient, and I believe the Philippines can learn a lot from their development because they were able to combine economic growth and environmental conservation. They show us that the future generation will thrive when we put these two together. That we don't have to live with one without the other. So yes, their technology and infrastructure.
Thank you. Last question. So what is your ultimate motivation for the joining the contest? So what do you want to really achieve for it?
Well, personally speaking, when I first started off with these contests, it was for self-discovery in the beginning. I felt too shy to talk to anybody, too afraid. If I were the same person I was 10 years ago, I would not want to look at any of you. But it's about facing your fears. And when you do these things, not only do you get to know yourself better, but you also get to meet many mentors along the way. And in that process, you learn that, hey, I can do something. I can speak about causes. I can make the world a better place, as cheesy as that sounds. And one of the causes I would like to bring to light is our disaster resilience in the country. I hope that with this trip, with this wonderful journey of mine, we will get to not only immerse ourselves in the Japanese culture, but also possibly replicate their wonderful solutions to problems that we also face as a country. So, in short, what motivates me is the fact that I'm able to, and that possibility of what could happen afterwards, and the legacy that could be left behind in terms of compassion, social progress. That's what motivates me.
どうもありがとうございます。頑張ってください。
To the next question from Philippines. We have three questions.
Hi, Nicole. So probably at this point you may have already known more about the Japanese culture. So what is it about the Japanese culture that you find or you can relate to the most? Probably because of its similarities to the Filipino culture.
I would say the coming together during meals. People in the Philippines spend so much time preparing the food, and I think they do the same thing in Japan. That's a labor of love, made with love. They put it down, and the whole family usually comes together. And that's a time and you get to bond. That's the time you get to share your stories. And I think that's an aspect that's very similar between the cultures. It's really about the upbringing, and that upbringing starts with the family. And that really nurtures this culture of respect as well.
Okay. So my next question, the competition proper may not have started, but at this point, as a Miss International candidate, how do you think you can help in bridging cultures?
I'm really proud to say that being here with all of you at the Ambassador's residence is definitely a first step, one of the beginning steps in bridging our cultures together. It's really wonderful to hear that the connection that we have as countries is very strong. And I think it could be even stronger with more activities, especially for the public to join in on, other classes and cultural exchanges.
And for my last question, what do you think is the most essential quality of a Miss International?
Just one?
Probably can be.
Curiosity is one, for sure. When a person is curious, they're more open-minded to things, rather than looking at something different as bad or just not something that they would be open to. If you shift your perspective to, I get to learn about this, I wonder what this is like. Oh, is this really how it goes? The curiosity creates this feeling of respect in that process because you want to learn about it, rather than shut yourself off from that part of the world. Another would be the commitment, of course. Commitment to the organization, to the values that they uphold, to the kind of image they want to provide for the public. And of course, courage. This isn't an easy task, being in front of the camera or getting up early in the morning for all these events, to represent a beautiful country on an international stage. I think that requires a lot of courage. So I think those three.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nicole. So now we would like to proceed YJS advertising, Mr. Kazumi Saito, and then we have 5 questions.
Nice meeting you, Ms. Nicole. I have 5 questions. So I would like to ask you about the beauty. Where does beauty come from? What do you think?
I think beauty comes from our innate ability to appreciate what is existing around us. When do we find something beautiful? It could sometimes be subjective, for sure, but it requires the thought and the focus in order to appreciate something. Sometimes you won't notice it, but when you do, and you take the time to appreciate even the little things, that's what makes it beautiful. The person who appreciates it first.
Thank you. You will be representing the Philippines in Japan from now on. But what do you think makes the Philippines the best in the world? What's the best part of the Philippines?
We have a term we use, bayanihan.
Bye.
Bayanihan. And it's the Filipino spirit. It's that warmth you feel the moment you land. And I think we have this friendliness. The moment somebody enters, whenever there's a new face, we're almost always the first to say hello. And we want you to experience our country. So yes, that warm welcome.
So I heard that you are from Cebu, right? The current Secretary of Tourism, Christina Frasco, also came from Serbia. Please comment on the tourism slogan, new slogan, Love the Philippines. What do you think about that?
I think it's alright. The love the Philippines. It sounds like the ending of a letter that you write somebody. You say, dear, you write your sweet message, and at the end of it you say, love from me. Love the Philippines. And I see that as an invitation for people not to just book their next destination to the Philippines, not just explore what we have to offer, but to actually fall in love with it. Fall in love with the culture, the people, the places. Maybe it'll be your new second home.
So, what are your dreams and goals?
That's a very big question.
But in short.
In short, I'd say, there's a saying that goes, you don't climb the top of the mountain for the world to see you, but for you to see the world. And I think that's a very big dream of mine. I want to get to see the world and have a meaningful life. One with dignity, one where I get to create and design in art, as well as leave a legacy where people can also feel inspired, just like the people who have inspired me. With goals, at least for this year, I would love to raise more awareness on human security, supporting Habitat for Humanity. I think it's the right way for us to develop as a whole, where everyone gets access, everyone has a place to call home. With art therapy, gosh, it's such a great way to express yourself. It would be wonderful to bring that into life, make it a more common practice for people to express themselves. Because a lot of the problems we have, it tends to be in our own minds. So if we give ourselves an outlet to that, we can probably handle some more problems better. And a very immediate goal is what I pray for, is what I hope it will align to possibly bring the 7th Miss International Crisis.
So this is last question. What are you most looking forward to doing in Japan this month, besides in fashion?
Oh, well, it's wonderful to say that I will be flying this 7th, which is a few days before the actual pageant begins. And I'm very delighted to say that I will, thanks to the Japan Embassy, I'll get to meet the ambassador of the Philippines in Tokyo. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to meeting the Filipino communities there. Yes, very good friend. Shout out to Free Barbusa. He's a designer, also from my hometown, Cebu, and he was so sweet and thoughtful enough to arrange a dinner where I'll get to meet people at Shinno, Bahama. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless you and God be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you still have the time to accommodate question if later? Okay. So if you have a question, okay. So Rika.
Sure. Hi Nicole, Armin Adina from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. What do you hope to take away from this courtesy call that can help you with your quest for the Miss International crown?
From this courtesy call, I'd love to take away more information that I might have not known from the past. It was wonderful talking to the ambassador, seeing his lovely garden, and of course seeing the Voltus 5. I want to take away what it feels like feel the heart of Japan. And I believe that the ambassador is a wonderful representation of what it's like to meet the Japan people when I get there. And to have his support on this journey is one I'll really treasure forever.
Arigato gozaimasu. Best of luck to you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other additional questions? Okay, so in that case, with that, we'd like to conclude this press conference. Once again, thank you so much, Ms. Nicole, and good luck on your journey to Tokyo. So thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much, Ms. Nicole.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. This is such an intimate thing. You guys are all gathered here. Almost feels like a birthday.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat.
Picture.